Okay, looks like we're alright.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it's actually on my side. Oh, yeah, because I still have the music stuff up. I'm sorry, it is me. Alright, that should fix it. Back into it.
Yep, so we do have a, well, Terran versus Protoss. So from the Terran, we will in all likelihood see a bio build, lots of Marines, Marauders, and Medivacs, and then can add on Vikings to combat Colossi if the Protoss goes for that, or potentially Ghosts if the Protoss goes for High Templar. And then the Protoss will, of course, go for, Colossi or High Templar supported by Gateway units, and that's kind of what you see in the vast majority of games in this particular matchup these days.
Definitely. We got the probe in here that's just being annoying. Always terrible as a turn player to have a Protoss probe in your base. It's just too
He's going to
annoying.
lose it, though. Santon doing some nice Marine micro there. He's got that stutter step attack down quite nicely.
And now he's laying down a second barracks. So we will see if he goes a one base aggression off of that or expands behind it.
Yep. As his Cyber Core is finishing up there, but he hasn't gotten himself any gas yet, so... Oh, right, he's purple. He's not green. Oh! Oh, the colors. And he's also taking an expansion at his natural. So one gate expand, not too terribly uncommon. Sontran, on the other hand, is throwing down a bunker at his front, and also looks like he wants to expand as well, as he's letting those minerals build up.
The probe from Azalika is moving out around the map. Looks like he wants to control the Zeldnaga. Maybe place down a forward pylon in just a moment. As Sontran does not want to allow that to happen.
We do have a bunker going up by the natural, but there's a probe there. It's probably going to be able to pick the SCV off. So could be he just wants to be a little bit annoying, maybe force Az to freak out a little bit, and cancels the bunker, gonna pull back
Oh,
home.
loses the SCV to the probe. The probe with the kill. Oh, yeah.
We do have a bunch of Marines coming in, though, and Az is gonna need to micro really well if he wants a chance
Oh!
against that.
God, Stalkers are so hard to kill with Marines, and he almost gets it, but 17 life still as he retreats back up in the main. 4 Marines now being microed to try and take out this Nexus. I'm not so sure they're going to be able to do much more than scratch it, as we have a Zealot being chronoed out and the Stalker still alive.
Yeah, once that Zealot joins up with the Stalker, the Marines will, in all likelihood, have to fall back. Because Zealots do kind of crazy damage against Marines.
They definitely
They're really,
do.
really good.
And now that Zealot is out, Azalea could move down. Okay, now
Yeah,
he is
there we
going
go.
to. And a few points of damage being laid down. Now the Marines are microed back, actually doing a lot of damage to this Zealot, and the Stalker is no longer involved. Oh, the Marines get it. Now trying to be super cute, Sontran moves back in with some really nice micro all around. A probe is going to lay down a pylon next to him. Never mind, that's not allowed.
He was
Well,
hoping the Marines would get caught in the flux field of it being warped in. Az is warping in a bunch of Stalkers, so
he
he will be able to drive this way, and I don't think he'll lose the Nexus.
Oh, he does
He
get
does
that
lose
one
the Stalker,
stalker, though.
Yeah.
Target fires down the other one. Did not need to run away there, and wow, he's
Yeah, Az is
really
really
cutting this
struggling with this.
unnecessarily close. 210, just under 200.
Okay.
That is just juicy as we have 4 more Marines moving out wanting to finish it off. Oh,
Yeah. That was surprisingly effective by Sontran. Quite impressed with his micro. Doing a very nice job of just keeping his Protoss opponent on the back foot.
and he's still got 4 racks all aggressively rallied forward, now finally laying down his second gas as Azalika tries to set up that pylon on the low ground so he can warp in immediately in front. We're going to move forward, it looks like, with 7 Marines. That's going to be against 4 Stalkers and 4 Zealots. That's probably not going to work. But, we just saw some pretty darn good micro just a moment ago, and we're seeing some more of it. However, with
Yeah,
the
I think
Stalker
Az will be okay.
DPS... maybe, maybe. I don't know. There's the 2 Marines in the support. That, oh.
Not quite. Yeah, I mean, with that many Zealots just soaking up all the Marine fire, the Stalkers were basically free to just slowly chip away at the Marines until they were all gone. But that said, while Sontran did not kill Az with all that aggression. He did get his expansion up, and he's had it up for quite a while, and Az is just now getting his mining going at his natural, so bit of an economic win for our Terran player.
Definitely, and Probe comes in and is able to see that Santran laid down his expansion.
Yep, and we do have a single pylon going on up just to the west of Santran's expansion, so that could be used for backstabs later in the game, or just for forward warpins.
Quite possibly, yes. I wouldn't be surprised to see some Zealots and or DTs come in there. I do not like that Azalika has not controlled his near Zelnaga, while Santran has controlled his, but is not scouting around for forward pylons. He saw that probe move into his expansion area, and that's normally a really good tip-off that Protoss is planning something in a few minutes.
Yeah, Az just did take his Zelnaga tower though, so clearly he is sensing your emotions and reacting to
There
them
we
appropriately.
go. Good man. And he's sending out that observer. Knowledge is power.
That it is. Always want to hold the Zelnaga towers as much as possible. If you're, looking to get into StarCraft and you're wondering how can I win more, you know, have vision of the map. The more you know about what your opponent is doing, the better.
Definitely agree. This observer comes in, it sees the fact that the factory is down with a reactor on it, and that there are 2, 4, 5 barracks, 3 tech labs, 2 reactors. Second reactor is going to be finished fairly soon. The upgrades are definitely lacking thus far from Santran, but he has started his +1 attack, and that's more than we can say for his Protoss opponent.
Yeah, that said though, um, as did just get his robotics bay done, and he is producing 2 Colossi out right now. So Santran will definitely need to get a starport up in the near future. And okay, there is one building, there is a reactor ready for it. So with any luck, he will get wind of those Colossi. He gets a scan down, yep, does see the Robo Bay. So in all likelihood, we'll start pumping out those Vikings so he can neutralize those Colossus and keep his Marines safe.
And now one little Marine for Santran has found the third of Azalika, but decides that he doesn't want to attack it. Just kind of hangs out by the refinery, or by the Vestman Geyser.
Yeah, he's just on coffee break. You know how it is, government workers.
Exactly. the
And Solentran does have a scouting factory as well, and that's going to get picked off.
Yeah, definitely.
A
It's
little
gonna
bit
die.
annoying.
Kind of hope. Yeah, he's laid down a second starport already. Okay, so it doesn't matter all that much right now. If it dies, he already did scout the third with that Marine, so I'm not sure why the factory needed to take that path. He does, however, get the knowledge that there are 2 Colossi, and he is making the correct choice by producing those Vikings. He's also currently moving out to take his third, and Azalika sees that both with his pylon and with that a silly little observer. If only Santran could see it. They are difficult, though.
Yeah, and while that factory did die, if Solentran was paying attention, he would see what Azlika has in his army, which is quite a few zealots, some supporting stalkers, and then, as you mentioned, those Colossus. So, oh, it didn't die?
Nope, and we're watching
Oh,
it right now.
oh
it's
man.
it's at
Okay, it's
20,
burning down. Yeah, it's gonna
and
die.
it's gonna. Uh, oh.
Yeah. And Sontran has taken his expansion, but there is that pylon there still. So, as Lika knows what's going on with the scouting pylon, but it's gonna die now to those marauders.
A little bit late on that, and then now the Viking being seen also by the observer for Azalika, so he is aware that he has forced a Viking production cycle out of his opponent. However, with 4 Colossi, they really are going to out DPS. Actually, I'm sorry, did I say 4? I meant 5 Colossi. He is, however, following up with 2 Immortals, as he has the double forge being chronoing out those upgrades, and we're really definitely entering that mid game where we'll probably. Oh, and just as I'm starting to think that, Azalika decides that he wants to move out and prevent that third from mining for much longer, and he's also placing those forward pylons down to support his aggression.
Yep, and now Azulika does have 5 Colossi, he does have range and +1, but Sontran is producing 4 Vikings at a time. They're not showing up on the production right now because he's supply capped,
Hmm.
but he is producing those Vikings as quickly as he can. And if he can delay a bit, he'll be able to get a critical mass of Vikings and then kill those Colossi very, very quickly. However, Azulika is moving in, and Somtran's expansion here is completely exposed. He's definitely going to need to run those SCVs and pull his army to deal with it.
I think it might be too late even for that at this
Yeah, it's
point.
dead.
Some force fields going down preemptively. However, the Colossi are extremely exposed, and these Vikings, probably, no, can't quite clean one up, but it's darn close. And Azulika does perhaps the smartest thing he can do. He cleans up the orbital and then moves back. However, these Vikings are in a
One
fantastic
Colossi down.
position. Oh,
Second one down.
he's on move command. He's not even trying to counter those Vikings. Oh, this is going extremely poorly for Azulika at this point. The Bio Ball is now very, very dominant in this fight without the Colossi support. There are, however, Immortals waiting back home, and so I'm not sure that Sontran can push this into victory. He has, however, given himself an opportunity to reset up his third, perhaps even to double expand.
Yeah, Sontran does have an awful lot of Marines, though. But they are getting a bit yellow and orange because he has no medevac support. So
Yep.
we'll see how this fight goes.
That's
Stim goes down, but his army is so wounded.
It is. This is
Wow.
third stim on them, and the Immortals took a while to kill, but he actually donated those Zealots out front
Yeah,
without
he
engaging
killed
with the
everything.
rest of his army, and so maybe there's a production cycle of Zealots there. There's more Immortals that are about to come out, and with this additional Warpin and these Immortals, and a few probes thrown in, they might, well, maybe not if they're not all engaging at the same time.
Stimmed bio is so powerful. This is insane. Yeah, I think this might be curtains here for Azulika.
Oh, one Marauder.
Nope. Yep. Okay, I'm wrong. That's okay. Oh, yeah, that was a bit scary for Azulika there. He does manage to pick off all the Vikings that were with that army. Sontran should probably have pulled those back home because they weren't really contributing, or he could have just landed them, but instead they just kind of hung out in the air and got picked off.
Definitely. Something I like to do with Vikings after all of the Colossi are dead and your opponent's no longer producing them is you can honestly fly them into the back of a mineral line, pick off a lot of probes.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's a lot of fun to do because they're most likely going to die anyway, and to be honest, you don't frankly need them if your opponent doesn't have Phoenixes or Motherships or Colossi.
Yeah, now Azulika, though, is producing 2 more Colossi out, and he does have a Dark Shrine on the way, so...
So when
doing
behind...
a bit of a tense when behind Dark Shrine, yes. So classic. Sontran, though, pushing forward once again, picking off the Zealots before they can even connect.